Welcome to Nonprofit Stories, inspiring tales from Silicon Valley. We will explore the transformative work of nonprofit organizations and leaders who are changing our community by tackling some of the most pressing issues facing Silicon Valley. So without further ado, let's dive into this exciting conversation.
Today, we welcome Kate, the founder and president of the Career Pathway Institute of Silicon Valley. Their mission is to equip dependent visa holders with the necessary tools and resources and provide support for navigating their career pathways to achieving professional goals. There are an estimated 2.3 million dependent visa holders in the United States. 20% of dependent visa holders report experiencing discrimination, compared to 10% of U.S. citizens and permanent residents. 20% of dependent visa holders develop a mental health condition due to discrimination and social isolation. The economic burden of mental illness among dependent visa holders is estimated to be $38 billion per year.
Kate, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Please tell us about the history of your organization and how did it all begin?
Well, it's a really good question. Thank you for asking that. And everything began when I realized that I'm in the heart of Silicon Valley and a lot of people are building their dream careers, they're building startups. And I also wanted to do all of that, but I was on dependent visa. And when you're on dependent visa, you're not allowed to work, well, and it feels like you're not allowed to do anything. And it's a very frustrating situation when you put your career on hold for a certain period of time. And people on dependent visa, they facing a lot of challenges like career gap, like lack of resources, lack of network, lost professional identity. You don't understand who you are anymore. And when you're going to a networking event, like to any kind of event, and you need to present yourself, so first thing you hear, it's like, I'm from Google, I'm like from Facebook, I'm working or studying at Stanford. And I was asking myself, well, how to introduce myself? Who am I? And I think answering on this question started to look for me for more opportunities.
Sure.
That's how everything began. But if we will dive deeper in and we will look on the timeline, so everything started when we moved to Silicon Valley 4 years ago with my husband, and he's on working visa. I'm his +1 dependent.
Where did you move from?
And this is a great question because this was my second relocation.
Oh,
and
okay.
before moving to the US, we lived in Mexico. And living in Mexico, this experience was like a complete failure in terms of adaptation because in a year, I didn't learn any Spanish, I didn't get any local friends. And when we moved to Silicon Valley, I decided that this experience should be different.
Right.
I need to get out from my comfortable Russian-speaking bubble. I need to get out and find those local community.
Sure.
I need to improve my English and I need to immerse myself in the American culture. That's what I did. I started to look for volunteer opportunities. And my curiosity led me to UNAF, is United Nations Association Film Festival.
Okay.
And then on the very first day of the festival, I've met one lady from the community where I'm volunteering right now. It's called CCIS, Community Committee for International Students at Stanford.
Okay.
And I started to go there, helping brewing coffee on one of the regular program. And later on, in 2 years, I become, in 1 year I become vice president, then a president, and I'm still serving on the board as a president of this organization. And everything started from CCIS.
Sure.
Because this organization, like looking and seeing how this community works, how much help and support people are getting from being part of this community. And CCIS inspired me to create an environment where other people are thriving,
Right.
an environment that's available for broader audience outside the Stanford. So that's how I decided to create similar community, well, not similar, but similar environment where people are thriving. And that's how CCIS inspired me. And seeing how CCIS is helping people to achieve their goals, to adapt to a new reality, to a new life in the US, CCIS inspired me to create an environment where a lot of people can benefit from being a part of the community. And I decided to create Career Pathway Institute to create such environment available for people outside of Stanford, for broader audience. That's how everything began.
That's very interesting. And what is your personal passion behind serving the organization?
Well, I'm very passionate about people. And I honestly believe that we underestimate the power of environment. And by environment, I mean not only place where we are living, but also people who surround us. And people, they are playing crucial role in our personal and professional growth. And I can share on my personal story.
Sure.
When I started to volunteer at CCIS at Stanford, I was talking like every day with all these smart, brightest people who got to Stanford, with all these graduate students, PhD, visiting scholars, and their spouses. And spouses, they are dependents, and they had amazing careers back in their countries. And they are very smart, very talented. And at the very beginning, I felt a little bit ashamed talking to them, because who am I and who are they?
Right.
They felt like stars for me.
Uh-huh.
But later on, I realized that we are talking about the same issues.
Right.
We sharing the same ideas. We are having the same fears. We are also frustrated about our unemployment situation. Right. But the most important, we are sharing the same values.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I realized that we are all like passionate. We are all ambitious. We are courageous, bold, and creative. And most important, we want more from life. And we created this environment for ourselves. We was sharing, oversharing. And this environment shaped me as a person. And I need to admit that I'm very lucky that this happened to me here in Silicon Valley, because Silicon Valley is a very unique place. And I really admire with the culture of investment here. And I also share this value. Like when you invest in people, invest in your time, resources, ideas, you don't expect anything in return. And you can see how other people like growing, and you also like sharing this moment of glory, you also growing together with them. So that's what I wanted to recreate in our community.
How has your organization made a big difference in somebody's life?
That's a really good question. And let's talk about what we consider a big difference. For us, every small step, it's already a difference in someone else's life. And every big difference started with a small, consistent steps. And Career Pathway Institute is really good in making those steps happen. Whether it's going out for your very first networking event after staying at home, like full-time working mom with your kids for a couple of years, or applying for your first ever US job, or going for interview in English for the very first time, or like receiving a job offer finally. So all these small wins, it's already a huge difference in someone else's life. And I still remember the very first feedback from the attendee of our live stream when we was interviewing one of the successful. And I still remember the very first feedback we received. The feedback was about finding a mentor. So one girl, she couldn't find a job for months. She was applying and applying again and again for the interview, and she couldn't make it. But then during the interview, she heard that, oh, I need to find a mentor. Somebody will help me to realize what I'm doing, what I'm missing. And she was able to connect with the host, and the host, with the guest, and the guest of our interview, she connected her with the mentor, and this mentor helped her to realize how to make this happen. And in a couple of weeks, she got a job offer.
Awesome.
Yeah, so just small wins, small steps, that's already a huge difference in someone else's life. And we keep receiving messages from people from our community that they're so thankful to CPI, to Career Pathway Institute, for what we are doing, for what we are sharing, what kind of resources, what kind of stories, that we are helping them to change mindset, that they can do it, they can go for it, and
Right.
they can build careers they deserve. When you're on dependent visa, you're not allowed to work, but you can volunteer. And that's what I recommended to one of my friends who is still on dependent visa. And she was so burned out from her previous job. She was working as software developer, and she was looking for other careers. What else is available for her? And she had several ideas what else she can do. And one of the idea was project management. So I invited her to volunteer with us, with Career Pathway Institute, and she started to volunteer. And later on, she realized, okay, I like project management. That's what really enjoying, like satisfying. But also she realized through our career coaching program that she still liked to write a code, that she still want to be a software developer. And now she is looking a job, well, not in the US, but outside of the US, as a software developer. And that's something incredible. When people can come to our organization, they can try new skills, they can build new skills, being a volunteer, and later on they can land a job, the job they want, the job they always was dreaming about. Or they can realize that they still want to be this, software developer or project program manager, like whoever they want to be. So we are like a playground for them,
Sure.
just to try and build new skills.
Worried about the dilemma of selling first or buying first? TradeMyHome.com, powered by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, has the solution. With our guaranteed 24-hour cash offers, you won't risk owning 2 homes or being homeless. You can buy first and sell later. Are you upgrading or downgrading in the next 3 to 6 months? Text PAIR to 408-740-7400 for a free and no obligation professional equity appraisal report. Exclusively for Nonprofit Stories podcast viewers. For more information, visit TradeMyHome.com or call 408-740-7400. Remember, at TradeMyHome.com, your home is sold guaranteed or we'll buy it.
And what other programs do you offer?
So in our organization, we offering different kind of career coaching programs. We started this March a career coaching program with neurointegration coach. Later, we started create your career map using coaching cards with a neuroscientist and neurocoach. Right now, we have another career breakthrough career program with another coach. And right now, we are developing LinkedIn program, and also we have different tools that help people to build resume, cover letter, and we are constantly working on developing new programs. So our future program will be about creating career paths. So that's something what really inspires me, and I have background as human resources working in huge IT company back in my country, and that's what I was enjoying doing, creating career plans for our employees. And besides career coaching programs, we also hosting networking events in person, sometimes at Stanford, sometimes in San Francisco. So if you are in the Bay Area, please join our networking events. And also we are hosting live streams on our YouTube channel where people are coming and sharing their stories, how they overcome these challenges. And we're also hosting live streams with working professionals who've been there, who remember how painful it was for them to be unemployed and how they landed amazing careers later on.
When did you feel like quitting and what motivated you?
Well, sometimes I feel that it's just too much to be dependent, especially when you're an adult and you are limited with resources. And being a dependent, it's not that much fun because you also want to provide to your family, you want to bring something to the table, you want to bring something to your community, but you just simply can't. And at those moments, I remind to myself that people are getting more creative when they have some limitations. And my curiosity leads me to find an amazing solutions. Sometimes I feel that it's too hard for me to explain myself in English because I'm juggling 4 languages simultaneously in my head. We are speaking Spanish and English at home. I'm speaking Russian and Belarusian language with my friends and my family. And sometimes my brain feels like a jello. It's just too much.
Right.
And sometimes I just can't express myself in English because English is my second, first, third language. And I simply don't have the vocabulary. And I'm not that emotional in English. And at these moments, I always remember the scene from the Modern Family series when the Gloria, she's a lady from Colombia telling to her husband from the US, like, you have no idea how smart I am in Spanish.
That's true.
Yeah, so I remind myself that, okay, I know 4 languages. And sometimes it's just really hard to understand other people's culture. And I'm always asking myself, are those people coming from direct or indirect culture? How to communicate with them? How do not offend them without even knowing? And my community at Stanford helped me a lot to understand other people's culture because it's a very, very diverse community. People are coming from all over the world. I have friends from Japan, from Uruguay, from Brazil, from everywhere. And this diverse community helped me to understand people better. And that's what I want to bring to Career Pathway Institute. We want to build international community where people from different cultures, from different languages can come together and they can learn from each other. And it will help them later on with their careers when they need to work with people from different culture, different mindset. And well, of course, you can see I'm my biggest critic, and my imposter syndrome is telling me, Kate, you're not good enough, you can do more, you can do better. But when I'm thinking about that, I'm asking myself a question, like, why I'm doing that? Why I'm here? What's important for me? And I'm here because I want to make an impact in somebody else's life. And I know I can. And I'm here because my community believe in me, my team believe in me, and they holding my back. And it's a choice. Every day I'm choosing between keep moving on, keep building my dream career, my dream life, or just quit. I'm not a quitter.
What's your dream headline for your organization in 5 years?
Well, in 5 years, I want CPI, Career Pathway Institute, be able to help 100,000 people with their career in the US. I want that other people who are thinking about moving to the US know about us even before moving. So probably it will help them to make those decisions. And also I want to create a strong, supportive community around the US, and especially in the main hubs where a lot of professional workers are relocating, because most of the corporates, the one who brings those international talents to the US, they do little to nothing to support spouses of their employees. So we want those spouses to know about us even before moving to the US, so they will have more clarity, they will have more confidence that they will not be alone here, that they will find support, they will find community, they will find all the resources for them available, and they will not be struggling with their career gap and with finding their dream job later on.
What is a common misconception about your organization?
Well, it's a great question, because on our website we are having the motto, we are helping people on dependent visa to build careers in the US. So people see dependent visa and they automatically think that we are helping with legal stuff. Well, we're not helping with legal stuff. We're just sharing stories of people who've been in the same situation, and we're sharing stories how they overcome these challenges. And sometimes we invite in immigration lawyers, immigration attorneys, so they can give like a general advice, what else is available, how to navigate this career journey. So we're not an agency, we're not helping with visas, with anything, we're just sharing stories.
Who guided and inspired your journey with the organization?
There are a lot of people to whom I'm very grateful who supported me on this journey. And I'm very grateful to my friend Nadia Belkind. She was the very first one who believed in me more than I do. She saw something in me I haven't seen before, and she saw passion. I'm also very grateful to my friend. His name is Bob Poe, and he is my English in Action partner from CCIS. And everything started from like regular conversation. We was trying to improve my English and pronunciation, but later we started to talk about leadership. And he was sharing his experience working in Silicon Valley for decades, and now we are exchanging ideas about leadership. I'm also very grateful to my teacher at Stanford, Brett Waters. I took his class at Stanford, Accelerate Your Startup Idea, and the one who is thinking about taking this class, now it's available on campus at Stanford, so go for it, totally recommend it. And Brett, he's very generous with his time, with resources, with his experience, and besides being my teacher, he is my mentor now. Also, I'm very grateful to my advisor. His name is Brian Sparks, and he's a communicator coach, and he has a unique ability to empower people. Also, I'm very grateful to my team because they believe in me, they supported me from the very first day, and they are the one who is making that happen. And also, I'm very grateful to my husband, who is always supporting me and who attending our events, and he made me believe that he really wants to be there, not because I force him, but because he wants to be there.
Do we have any other option of not coming? What one advice will you give to the people you serve?
I want to let them know that they are not a burden, they are an asset. You're not alone. There are more than 100,000, close to 1 million people in your situation in the US. And there are a lot of things you can do for your career, even if your visa doesn't let you work, even if you have some different circumstances. So don't let these visa restrictions and circumstances hold you back from your career, from your dream career. And you can do a lot of other things for your dream job, like building needed skills, going to network, or you can discover new career paths, which you was not able to discover before. And I have amazing stories in my community, within my friends, who've been working for decades back in their countries as an accountant, as an HR, and when they had the chance to change something in their life, they started to do other careers completely different from what they was doing before. And that helps them to fully enjoy life, to find the passion, and to do what they always wanted to do. So please use this time wisely, enjoy this time, and discover a new career path for yourself, and find your community of people, because we already talked about this earlier. People play a crucial role in your personal and professional growth.
Thank you so much, Kate, for taking time to speak with us today. Keep up the good work, and let's stay in touch.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I really appreciate for this opportunity to speak up from entire team who is making this possible.
It's time for our trivia question to win prizes. This section is hosted by our AI host, Kay.
Hi, this is Kay from TradeMyHome.com, powered by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Your home sold guaranteed, or we'll buy it. Here is our NPS trivia question. Which nonprofit organization, established by Maggie Doyne, provides education, healthcare, and empowerment programs for vulnerable children in Nepal? And your options are Blink Now Foundation, She's the First, or Conscious Kids. Winners will get a $25 Amazon gift card and recognition in our next episode. Submit your entry on our website, trademyhome.com/NPS, or by scanning the QR code on the screen. Only the top 3 correct entries will win.
Thank you for listening to the podcast and acknowledging the impactful work of nonprofits in Silicon Valley. Please subscribe and share this episode with a friend. Thank you to our sponsor, TradeMyHome.com, for their community commitment and for making this podcast possible. Until next time, remember to support local nonprofits.